What if I told you that one of the most iconic figures in ancient literature holds secrets that could transform how you understand power, knowledge, and human nature itself? For over 3,000 years, the image of Ravana, the 10-headed king from the Hindu epic Ramayana, has captivated minds across cultures. But beneath the surface of this legendary antagonist lies an enigma that challenges everything we think we know about ancient storytelling, symbolic wisdom, and the very nature of human potential. I'm your name, and welcome to the first episode of our 4-part series where we decode one of history's most enduring mysteries. Today, we're going to unravel the profound symbolic meanings behind Ravana's 10 heads, explore how ancient storytellers encoded timeless wisdom about human nature, and begin an investigation that will take us from sacred text to archaeological sites, and even into the realm of modern speculation about lost technologies. Let's start with what makes Ravana so fascinating. He's not your typical villain. The Ramayana presents him as a figure of immense complexity, a devoted follower of Lord Shiva, a master musician who could play the veena, a brilliant scholar, and a capable ruler. Yet he's also consumed by arrogance, desire, and ultimately commits acts that lead to his downfall. This duality is embodied perfectly in his most distinctive feature, those 10 heads. The most widely accepted interpretation sees these heads as symbols of Ravana's mastery over vast domains of knowledge. Ancient texts describe him as being deeply versed in the 4 Vedas, the foundational sacred texts of Hinduism, and the 6 Shastras, which are scriptural sciences covering everything from grammar to astronomy. In this view, each head represents his command over one of these 10 essential bodies of learning. This interpretation elevates Ravana far beyond a mere antagonist, casting him as an intellectual giant whose mental capabilities were considered 10 times that of an ordinary person. But here's where the story becomes even more intriguing. The same 10 heads that represent his vast knowledge also symbolize 10 destructive vices that ultimately lead to his downfall. Different traditions list these slightly differently, but they typically include lust, anger, greed, pride, ego, envy, delusion, hatred, insensitivity, and fear. Some interpretations even include positive qualities like wisdom, compassion, and devotion, suggesting that Ravana's character encompasses the full spectrum of human potential, both light and shadow. This creates a fascinating paradox at the heart of Ravana's character. Here's a being with unprecedented knowledge and power, yet he's undone by his own moral failings. The ancient storytellers weren't just creating a villain. They were crafting a profound commentary on the relationship between knowledge and wisdom, between power and responsibility. Ravana's story suggests that intellectual prowess alone, even when multiplied tenfold, cannot guarantee moral conduct or prevent catastrophic choices. The symbolic function goes even deeper. In the climactic battle with Rama, many versions describe Ravana losing his heads one by one as the fight progresses. Each severed head represents the progressive destruction of one of his primary vices. His ultimate defeat, with the fall of his final head, occurs on the day now celebrated as Vijayadashami, marking the triumph of Dharma over Adharma, good over evil. But here's what makes this truly remarkable. The Valmiki Ramayana, the oldest version of this epic, contains details that complicate our understanding. When Hanuman secretly observes Ravana sleeping, he sees him with only 1 head and 2 arms. This suggests that the 10-headed form might not have been a constant physical reality, but something Ravana could manifest or control. Was it an illusion created through his mastery of Maya? A divine power granted through intense penance, or something else entirely? Some Puranic accounts describe how Ravana acquired his 10 heads through extreme devotion, cutting off his own head 10 times during penance to Lord Brahma, with each head regenerating until the deity granted him the boon of retaining all 10. Other traditions speak of his ability to create illusions so powerful that observers would see multiple reflections of his head, giving rise to the 10-headed image. The genius of this symbolism extends beyond individual psychology to encompass broader spiritual concepts. Some interpretations suggest the 10 heads represent mastery over the 10 senses according to Hindu philosophy, the 5 cognitive senses, and the 5 organs of action. Others see them as dominion over the 10 directions, symbolizing Ravana's widespread power and influence across the known world. What emerges from this rich symbolic tapestry is a character who embodies fundamental questions about human nature that remain as relevant today as they were 3 millennia ago. In our modern world of rapid technological advancement and unprecedented access to information, Ravana's story offers a cautionary tale about the relationship between knowledge and wisdom, between capability and character. Think about it. We live in an age where individuals can access more information than entire civilizations possessed in Ravana's time. We have tools that amplify our cognitive abilities, extend our reach across the globe, and give us powers that would seem magical to our ancestors. Yet the fundamental challenges Ravana faced, managing ego, controlling desire, using power responsibly, remain as pressing as ever. The ancient storytellers understood something profound about human psychology. They recognized that our greatest strengths often contain the seeds of our greatest weaknesses. Knowledge without wisdom becomes arrogance. Power without restraint becomes tyranny. Capability without character leads to catastrophe. But Ravana's story doesn't end with these symbolic interpretations. As we'll discover in the coming episodes, different versions of the Ramayana across various cultures and time periods offer fascinating variations on his character and the meaning of his 10 heads. Some traditions present radically different numbers of heads, different origins for his polycephaly, and even different moral frameworks for understanding his role in the epic. Even more intriguingly, modern researchers and theorists have proposed explanations that go far beyond symbolism. Some suggest that descriptions of Ravana and his capabilities might represent lost technologies or advanced scientific knowledge that ancient civilizations possessed. Others have speculated about even more radical possibilities, that the 10 heads might be evidence of biological manipulation or genetic engineering conducted in the distant past. In our next episode, we'll explore these textual variations and begin to examine the evidence for more literal interpretations of Ravana's extraordinary characteristics. We'll journey from the foundational Valmiki Ramayana through regional adaptations like the Tamil Kamba Ramayanam and Tulsidas' Hindi Ramcharitmanas, and even into Buddhist, Jain, and Southeast Asian versions of the story. What we'll discover is that the question of Ravana's 10 heads opens up much larger questions about the nature of ancient knowledge, the relationship between myth and history, and the possibilities that our ancestors might have understood about human potential in ways we're only beginning to rediscover. So join me next time as we dive deeper into this ancient mystery. The journey we're embarking on will challenge your assumptions about the past, present new ways of understanding timeless wisdom, and perhaps reveal that the line between mythology and reality is far more complex than we've been taught to believe.